What's up, guys? John Brunson here from Spirit Life TV. This wasn't a video I was planning on doing, but Grizzly just sent us some new coolers. And I had my boys grab our old Spirit Life cooler off the boat and bring it up here to the back porch, and they just happened to set it next to the new one. And when I walked up to them and was kind of checking out the new cooler, I couldn't, help but notice like how good this cooler it still is. Literally after 7 years, minimum 7 years. So this cooler, so this cooler right here is at least 7 years old, maybe older. It has been on every single Spirit Life trip. We just wrapped up filming season 7. It has been on every single Spirit Life trip we've ever been on. Even when we're traveling to North Carolina and Mississippi, it goes in the trailer, goes on their boat. I mean, it's how many times this thing has been loaded on and off the boat, into a trailer, up and down docks. And the other thing that to me is amazing is it lives on the Spirit Life boat. So when I'm home, this cooler doesn't get loaded into, the barn or into the back porch or into the trailer, into the shade. It sits right out there in the back of the Spirit Life boat and literally sits in the sun, and it has literally sat in the sun for like the last 7 years. So after 7 years of like really getting used and abused, staying in the sun almost the entire time over the course of 7 years, getting tossed around, loaded into trailers, loaded into trucks, beat around on the boats, dropped on the docks. We're pretty rough on gear. It is absolutely amazing that this cooler's got a lot of life left in it. I mean, obviously we're not getting rid of it. Kobe said he wants it. But look at this right here is, like I said, over 7 years old. And then here's our new Spirit Life cooler. So when you look, you got some wear and tear. You got some little marks. You got to remember, not only are we, using this thing nonstop, it stays in the back of the boat, which means we're sitting on this with our body weight and 75 pounds of dive gear and metal tanks banging and scratching stuff, which is what you see some of this stuff here. All these little things here are just from tanks, 50-pound tanks beating into these things when we sit down. So we're definitely rough on gear anyway, but I'd say we've put, this cooler through as strenuous a test as you really could on a cooler. And 7+ years later, this thing works like a champ. No issues. We've not cleaned this cooler. Since our last trip, it needs to be cleaned. This is literally how it just came off the boat. You can look at the inside of this cooler. Obviously, it's brand new, but you look at this brand new cooler, and you roll over to this cooler that's 7 years old, at least 7 years old. Everything seals perfect. Original drain caps are still in it. Got a little chip on that one, which obviously is easy to replace, but it doesn't need to be replaced because it still screws in and works fine. Handles have held up, which is another thing I've noticed with coolers. Just handles wearing out, fraying, breaking. We have not had to fix or replace a single thing on this cooler. And that's mind-blowing. I came out and looked at this thing, and I was going to tell the boys to put the old cooler up front for Kobe to come pick up. And I'm like, man, I just saw them sitting next to each other. I'm like, holy cow. Like, if you want some sort of a testimonial to show you just, point blank the quality of a product and how it lasts, they don't get no better than this. Like I said, we've been with Grizzly for 10 or 15 years. This cooler is at least 7 years old. We have beat it to death. Didn't really say, probably didn't, obviously don't need a new cooler, but it's nice to get new ones. I think Grizzly said after 7 years, we probably want to send you a new cooler. But I mean, this thing, you clean this cooler up right here, God knows how many more years we will get out of this. I guess we'll find out because Kobe's going to take it. But I mean, other than some scuffs, a little bit of dinging up. I mean, again, you compare it. They changed the logo here, but but you look at both these coolers. I mean, I don't know. You look at a brand new cooler and you look at this cooler. I don't think anybody's going to look at that cooler and say, "Man, that cooler's had the snot beat out of it for 7 years." Still in great shape, seals perfect, holds ice for days, no problems, and I tell you. I just don't think you can get a better testimonial than that. So, man, if you're interested in a cooler, I don't think they make a better cooler than Grizzly.